day we learnt about crowdfunding, and that was quite interesting because that's how I got to university. I knew I was in the top 10 of the Western Cape, but I didn't have any money to study, so I started a crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo, and it started on Facebook. I really didn't think people would pay that much attention to it, but then the story really sold and bounced off of people, and 2 days later I had all the funding for university, and I'm going to leave university, if I finish and graduate, debt-free.
And that was all people who just said, we love your idea, we want to see it happen in the world, here's the cash.
People with new ideas need to be given the opportunity to test them in a way that does not debilitate them going forward. So you don't want to raise debt, you don't want to give away equity, you want to test to see if your idea is worthwhile by asking a whole group of people. If they say yes and they fund you, you know you've got a good idea. If they don't, you move on to your next good idea.
We are a team from Upstarts last year. When you put it on Thunder Fund, it gets very real quickly. Before that, it's just an idea, and once you start seeing money coming in, you realize that this thing is actually real and it's going to happen. You have to be prepared, promote it on social media as much as possible, tell your friends, family, and get some initial funders. Look successful, more people will fund.
The hardest part about crowdfunding is recognizing that it takes a lot of work. You can't just put it up there and hope it's going to happen. You have to get out there and market yourself, because it's not just about saying, I have a fantastic idea. People invest in you as a person. There's thousands of great ideas. But when people get behind you is when they believe in you as a person who's going to make it happen.
People trust a face. Yeah, they look at you and they decide whether you're trustworthy or not. You seem perfectly trustworthy.
Never give up, just keep on promoting your Thunder Fund campaign and make a good video. The video is important as it portrays who you are and what your business is all about.
We build a world that we, as the many people, would like to see happen.
I'm the founder of Relate Bracelets. It's a not-for-profit social enterprise that uses a beaded bracelet as the tool. Our whole philosophy is to get away from the begging bowl syndrome of going to corporates, to wealthy individuals, trying to get funding. We believe that all the haves can give a little, and that lots of little make big impact. The bracelet with an R on it has raised 36 million rand in just over 6 years for social upliftment and causes, one little bracelet at a time.
The vision behind Infinity is to foster the growth of female entrepreneurs across the continent of Africa. Networking is incredibly important when it comes to building a network of funders and being able to access funding, because initially people are actually buying into you, and so you need to make sure that you're creating relationships that are based on integrity, honesty, and a willingness to provide what you say you will provide.
Being an entrepreneur and being a social entrepreneur specifically is all about making magic.
And for me, the funding model is know your value, so that you are able to make sure that you crack into the right pools of funding and the right amounts.
You need to do your research and get out there and not be shy to tell your story and to be clear on what you want. I believe there are a lot of people who really want to be part of, contribute and fund startups, and they need to know exactly what you're doing and what is needed.
A lot of people who want to endorse their business, they want to see their business associated with a cause such as in helping youth. So it makes them look really good. So go for people who are wanting to improve their public image and work and go and approach and listen, this is what we can do for you. This is what we're presenting. And in the end, make it a win-win situation for everybody.
My vision for re-educating education is that one's background or upbringing or socioeconomic status is not the one determining factor in where one can end up in the future. I see a world where people can be self-taught, resilient, passionate, and can achieve anything they dream from.
We live in a really challenging, difficult world. There's so much stress. So making sure that our education system incorporates the teaching of life skills, being able to use your inner resources to be able to put that worry in a place so they can create another space where they can be available to learning. And I'm a huge believer in music being able to do that, because immediately music puts you in a different space. It has the ability to uplift and to stimulate, at the same time as the ability to calm you right down.
How do we start creating a cohort of people who themselves are creators of livelihoods and creators of wealth for themselves and those around them?
Upstarts is a challenging platform. It's if you're not ready for it, you have to be persistent. You have to get up when you get down, because it will knock you down. You have to refine, and there's so many cycles. You don't know what's the right idea, but today has taught us that you have to go for the solution, not the problem. And Upstarts is a solution. So let's go for Upstarts.